Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Facemask Fantasy.
What's happening, everybody?
And it looks like no technical difficulties today, so that is that is a good start.
First win of the week.
Yeah. What's going on, Riley? What's going on, New Era? What's going on, Cameron B? I was just talking with Nick. It was kind of a crappy week for fantasy, considering all the injuries we had to deal with this week, and then the false flags with like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just like not being let back in the game because of the NFL's new protocols. It's a weird week.
Strange week. Happy Amon-Ra's off. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, like, if I have Amon-Ra, obviously, if I'm like 2-4 and I'm kind of yearning for I'm jonesing for a win, right? Then yeah, I'm frustrated. But at the end of the day, like, if you have Amon-Ra, it's like, okay, fine. You held him out of an abundance of caution. You know for a fact you have him next week. Like, you live to fight another day. So that one's like a positive takeaway. But yeah,
at least it's not more than a 1 week absence, and it sucks. The circumstances suck because it's like he could have gone back in and given you at least something. But I mean, we are dealing with people's health at the same time.
This is the nature of the beast now.
So it's I mean, we have to be glad that nothing is wrong with Amon-Ra St. Brown. We can't be mad that he gave us zeros for our fantasy team. So we just got to keep that in mind. But obviously, biggest news of this past weekend, Breece Hall. And, you know, as an effect of that,
that's the worst one.
James Robinson being moved over to the Jets is obviously a repercussion of that. But, I mean, this Breece Hall news, he was just coming into his own. He was just showing us, like, we were finally getting a look under the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean? And hurt. And probably out for not 12 months. I mean, we got to be looking at 16 months.
Yeah.
Because you look at J.K. Dobbins, you look at Gus Edwards. I mean,
Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, it's going to take a while.
You know, it was a little bit of the meniscus in addition to the ACL.
And J.K. Dobbins, I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but apparently the news on J.K. Dobbins is that, like, now it's looking like a Todd Gurley situation with his knee.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Is now that, like, it's gotten so bad with the knee for J.K. Dobbins that it's now edging towards Todd Gurley status.
I mean, the thing with, I'm not going to get too down this rabbit hole, but the thing with Gurley was he literally had tendonitis, which is a degenerative condition. I wasn't aware if Dobbins had anything similar, but I'll look into it. As far as Breece, I'll just caution now. I would take extreme caution as far as like looking at him in 2023 as far as a discount. We hope he comes back 100% as fast as possible, as soon as possible. But yeah, this could be more along like the 18-month timeline or so for Breece, especially when he's only 22 years old and has his whole career ahead of him. The Jets would be foolish to rush him back for any reason. Yeah, I would be taking the long approach right now with Breece Hall.
Yeah, he is the engine of their team. He was supposed to be the engine of their team, and moving forward, I mean, look at how Zach Wilson's been playing. You can't say that he's the main driver behind their success right now. It was really Breece Hall this year. So it sucks to see. They do have Michael Carter. Now they have James Robinson. Should be a 50-50 split. Maybe Ty Johnson gets mixed in a little bit there, elevated and mixed in a little bit there.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, your boy JaMychal Hasty now sees life as the number 2 running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm not sure it's not Snoop Connor. For real. Hasty gives them a boost on special teams. I would be curious to see if Snoop Connor takes some like poor man's version of James Robinson's role. But anyway, the big winner here is Travis Etienne.
Yes.
Who I've been telling you guys, buy low on. How long? Since week 3? I've been saying buy low on Travis Etienne.
Well, actually,
now,
you've been saying it since week 1. You've been saying I know James Robinson's been doing work, but don't count out Etienne. You've actually been saying it since week 1.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not worried about the fact that we, drafted him 3rd, 4th round, probably 3rd round. But yeah, now he's unleashed. 18 half PPR points last week. Got all the backfield work.
80% of the touches. Yep.
Yeah, so that's gonna just continue moving forward. So wheels up on Etienne.
But we got a lot of questions piling up here.
Lots of questions.
So let's get right into it. First question: Godwin, or who was it?
Debo.
It's covered up by. There you go. Yeah, Godwin or Debo for the rest of the season.
So Debo did pick up a hamstring injury on Sunday and is like day to day. That was the last I saw about Debo. Day to day with a hamstring injury. I mean, day to day, you know how the NFL works. Day to day could mean days. It could mean a couple of weeks. I don't know. And it's a hamstring, so the severity changes. It goes all over the place. It's a soft tissue injury that is enough to be a little bit concerned about before we know anything else. So I guess it's a little bit more of a push. Had Debo not got, if you don't come up with a hamstring injury, the answer is Debo. But Godwin is actually corralling lots of. Mike Evans outperformed him in the stat sheet on Sunday against the Panthers, but Godwin is commanding a significant load of the targets in this Bucs offense, a broken Bucs offense at that. But Godwin is, he's not the reason they're broken. It's a push. I'll say because of Debo's hamstring injury, I guess I slightly lean Godwin because at least now I know today, right now, he doesn't have an injury designation.
Yeah,
that's it though. That's the only Debo's.
But when everybody's healthy, the answer is Debo by a small amount. You might rank one 12th and the other 13th, 14th, 15th, something like that.
And some weeks 1 4th and 1 5th.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do still think it's Samuel, and you look at Samuel's playoff schedule, and his is a lot better as well.
Okay, so yeah, you hope, with the long view in mind, you hope that this is a minor hamstring injury. He shakes it off in a worst case scenario, a couple of weeks. Yeah, if that's the case, Debo. But today, right now, without knowing more, they're close. It's a push.
Very close.
Push. Today, right now, in this moment, it's a push.
New Era TB, what's going on, man? Someone just sent you Brees for a 23 first dynasty. Take it or leave it. So where do you rank right now?
Yeah,
for that first. Situation? What's that first gonna be amounting to? If it's a top six first, you have to be a little bit discerning about it, and you have to understand that you're probably not gonna get Brees for the 23 season. You're probably looking at Brees hitting the ground running in 2024. So where is your team? Are you in a rebuild? If you are in a rebuild, are you a bottom 3 team? You got to be discerning about this. If you are a contender and somebody offered me that, if I was a contender, I'd take it like that. If I know I'm contending and I know my team is a top 3-4 team and my pick is going to be somewhere between 8 and 12 and like a 12-teamer, I'm taking that in a second.
Yeah.
But if I'm one of the worst teams in the league, if I have the worst record in the league, I don't know if I do that because that's my Bijan Robinson ticket. And Bijan is going to be ready for the 23 season, whereas Brees isn't. and that's taking out just the talent disparity between the two. And Bijan's supposed to be a little bit better of a prospect than Breece even. So you got to be a little bit discerning here.
You'll have Breece next year, but you might not have the version of Breece that you're hoping for.
Like it'll probably be, 4 to 6 weeks into the year.
Yeah, right.
It might be a Gus Edwards situation where week 7's the first time you see him.
And he's still working his way back.
Right.
So, yeah. Cameron's got a long question, but Riley got one in just before, so we will do both of these. And what's going on, guys? So Riley's got a string in a couple of wins together in a row. 3 and 4 is just fine. Nothing to worry about there.
There you go. Climbing your way back. Yep.
Burrow, Barkley, Ramondre, Pollard, Chase, Debo, Gabe, Rondale, London, I guess and then Taysom and Tunyon, okay, are your tight ends. Need help upgrading? I mean, you could look to see if you could find a little bit more of a consistent option at tight end, but I don't think you need to do anything. You have, one of the hottest quarterbacks in football right now. Your backfield is incredibly strong. You have 3 anchors at wide receiver pending Debo's health. You could try to do, maybe hope that Rondale Moore or Drake London has a decent game this coming week and package them with one of those 2 tight ends for a tight end upgrade. But like outside of that, you got 2 wins
Burrow,
in a row now.
Barkley,
you got good pieces.
Ramondre, Pollard as a number 3, Chase, Debo, Gabe.
You're fine.
You're pretty good. You're pretty set.
Yeah, you have your Bengals stack.
Yeah.
I think you're good, Riley. I mean, maybe try to hold out on a better week from Rondale or London. Get their value up. Package them with one of those 2 tight ends. Look for a better tight end. Other than that, I think you're fine.
Yep, I would agree. Cameron B, all right, your long question here in a 16-team full PPR league. Current running backs are CMC, Saquon, Hunt, Hines, Madison, and you were stashing Elijah Mitchell. Is Elijah Mitchell really even worth hanging on to? Considering if CMC were to go down, you're probably looking at a timeshare of Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell, where maybe Jeff Wilson has worked himself now at this point into the 1A role for the rest of the year. If something were to happen to CMC, I don't know if Elijah Mitchell's worth hanging on to. I really don't. I at this point, who would you rather have, Madison or Elijah Mitchell? I think I'd rather have Madison.
Yeah, I'd rather have Madison.
Hines is a little bit more up in the air. If you were going to cut one of those guys to put Elijah Mitchell on your active roster, it would be Hines.
I'd rather have Madison than Hines.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah, Hines is your first cut here. I'm a little confused about why you have to fire up Hines and Madison this week, though, just because McCaffrey's not on bye, Saquon's not on bye, Kareem Hunt's not on bye. None of those guys are on bye this week.
On bye week 9, he's looking ahead.
Week 9.
So worry about week 9 in week 9 is kind of where I'm at.
Week 9.
Worry about week 9 in week 9. Since this is a waiver show, we do have to talk about waiver wire priorities. I mean, can you pick up? Did somebody miss the boat on Gus Edwards? Did somebody miss the boat on Foreman or Hubbard? Did somebody miss the boat on an Isaiah Pacheco or a Rashad White? Did somebody drop Rashad White for Isaiah Pacheco in your league or something like that? If you want to look ahead, but I think you cut Hines to put Elijah Mitchell back on your squad if you want one of the backups to CMC, and you keep it moving.
Yeah.
And then you got a bunch of options here for us to choose who you should be picking up, I'm guessing. Am I reading that right? You got claims open to drop Mitchell and a second defense for one of these below. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all of these guys are like shots in the dark.
If you're worried about your running backs, then prioritize Pacheco.
Right.
You said you're short a wide receiver 2 and a flex. I don't know how viable Anderson, Osborne, and Zacchaeus are going to, Carter, I guess.
I think these are problems for week 9.
I think so too.
And we're not there yet, Cameron. So I would, let's worry about week 8 before we get to week 9.
But Hines is a cut. And we got a super. Hassan, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Full PPR, 3 wide receivers. You have Chase, Hopkins, Mike Will, who is out now. Barkley, Chubb, getting offered Josh Jacobs, Olave, and given Chubb, accept or decline. I would accept that. Josh Jacobs has been an RB1, and you're getting a wide receiver 1.
I would absolutely accept that.
Because Olave has been performing like a wide receiver 1, and Jacobs has been performing like an RB1.
Yeah.
I would do that.
I'm like, Chubb is awesome, but to get a running back that is performing at his level, plus a wide receiver of Olave's caliber, you need a wide receiver with Mike Williams out, and now you have insurance. You could go back. You could between the two of them. That's absolutely. I would do that trade, Hassan. I think that you're making out great there.
Yeah, and is the other person just flush at wide receiver, and so it doesn't matter if he's giving up somebody that might have been his 4th or 5th wide receiver for an upgrade at running back is all I can think of. But it's a win for you. It's a win for you.
Yeah,
so take that and run with it.
That's awesome.
And Riley, thank you very much for the super as well.
Thanks, Riley.
And thanks for being a member, as always.
Yeah, you already know.
Xavier Dubs, you as well. Dropped. Okay, sorry. Dropede. Gus and Hendo last week, not dropping anyone for a second. Fair enough. That's bad luck.
True. It's okay.
We probably wouldn't have advised dropping Henderson. But, Gus Edwards, we were not thinking that Gus Edwards was going to be the RB1 for the Ravens. And I don't think he scores another 2. I don't think he has another 2-touchdown game. You look at the game where it was Lamar Jackson throwing 16 times, constantly under pressure. They locked down his number 1 target in Andrews. It's clear Rashad Bateman ain't quite right yet. It was just a weird week for the Ravens. Do I think Gus Edwards is the number 1 back to have? Yes. Does he have 2 touchdown games again? I don't think so.
No, maybe not. Maybe
I don't
not
think
2
so.
scores. He did go. And what have I been saying? The Browns are the most overrated defense in the NFL. They're giving up yet again more points to a guy who just got activated off of the injured list. Shout out Gus Edwards for doing his thing and balling out. But yeah, it might be tough to duplicate those efforts. But he is. I don't even know if he is definitively the guy. I can't sit here and say that they won't randomly go back to Kenyon Drake for a game where they just like that matchup better.
Kenyon Drake had a horrible game from an efficiency standpoint. I think he rushed 11 times for 5 yards. And between that and the guy that, it's kind of like the Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson situation where one guy's getting you the yards in front of you and another guy's dancing around. And he could have one game where he averages 11 yards per carry, but he could have another game where he averages 0.5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That's kind of the situation. And I think the team likes just getting the yards in front of you, Gus Edwards.
Go straight ahead. Yeah.
But I don't think that he has the type of game that he had last week many more times this season.
Yeah.
But bad luck. You can still drop people. It's okay. Just be a little just ask the Discord, ask us first, because we wouldn't have advocated for dropping Henderson. But just bad luck on Gus. Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Cameron B. Yeah, man, we all hope everybody in here can keep stacking up those dubs.
Yeah, we're working on it. And help talking through questions.
What's going on, Nemo?
Always appreciate that. What's up, Nemo? Let's see. Xavier's asking what to do with Pittman.
Keep riding him, man. What other choice do you have?
Yeah, what's your
alternative? You can't sell him.
You could, but You know,
I don't know. You'd be selling low, and I'm never an advocate for selling low. So I think you just got to keep rolling with him. And honestly, if you downgraded him to your flex, he's not a bad flex option.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think you're all right. But I think you just keep rolling with him. I think there will be better days. I think Sam Ehlinger will be okay. And at the very least, he'll hyper target his number one wide receiver, like some other backup quarterbacks that we've seen in the past when they come in. I mean, I didn't think that Heineke was going to be hyper targeting McLaurin, and look what happened. I mean, we've seen Geno Smith come in and be the QB7 on the season. Nobody's worried about DK and Tyler Lockett. So stranger things have happened. Maybe Ehlinger can come in and actually jumpstart this offense. But what's going on, itty bitty South City? Tim Shields, what's happening? Using Nerd, what's happening?
Guys.
And yes, it is Ramondre Stevens season.
Yep.
We're there.
He's balling out.
Riley, good job for drafting him in the 6th round. Yeah, I drafted him too. I don't know where, but in a keeper league, and he is absolutely a keeper for me.
Yeah, he looks
great
really
job.
good.
Great job on drafting him, identifying him. He looks like he's legit.
The
Absolutely.
NFL misidentified Ramondre, letting him fall to the 4th round.
It happens.
Yeah,
it happens.
They dropped the ball
especially with the running backs.
On that one.
Yeah.
But let's see. Itty Bitty's got a trade.
Just received Justin Jefferson and A.J. Dillon for Kenneth Walker, Najee DK, and Mike Williams.
That's a lot to give up.
No. I love Justin Jefferson, but no.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker's been great.
Already be done.
I mean, then.
Walker's.
Then I hope that you have the depth to.
He's got Kirk,
be all
DJ
right.
Moore, Saquon. I mean,
yeah, but I'm talking depth. Those look like starters.
Yeah.
I mean, your starters should be very, very good, but giving up an RB1 now in Kenneth Walker, a low-end RB2 in Najee, a high-end wide receiver 2, if not a low-end wide receiver 1 in DK when he's healthy. And you could say the same thing about Mike Williams when he's healthy and he's dealing with a sprain. Should keep him out for a few weeks, but it's not an ACL tear or anything of that nature, so he will be back this season. It's a little rough. Now, if you need wins, it's not terrible because you can't rely on DK and Mike Williams right now. And really, can you rely on Najee?
You can rely on Najee over Dillon.
Yeah. So this deal is a little tough.
Yeah, I'm not. You
got the best player, but
you got the best player,
tough.
but you paid a lot.
A 4-for-2 trade when the caliber of players in the group of 4 that you gave up are what they are. It's
like a 4-for-2 in this situation would make sense if like one side received Jefferson and Walker, and maybe there was maybe the person in your league who had those 2 players was decimated and just like needed bodies, and then that's kind of a fairer swap.
If it was Kenneth Walker, Najee, Tyler Lockett, and Josh Palmer, then maybe, but you're like giving up the number 1s in their respective offenses. It's tough. So I hope it works out for you. I hope your starting squad doesn't get injured and you can roll with that right into the playoffs. Hopefully you win. Because like at the end of the day, that could happen, but this is a tough one to advocate for.
Xavier, I would do Pittman for Gabe Davis if you
do
get
Pittman
Gabe.
for D. Smith too. Right now.
Yeah. I think I'd rather have Gabe.
I would too, but I would do either.
Start with Gabe.
Yep.
You would go all the way down to Devontae Smith? I mean, not all the way down. Devontae's had a good season, but...
I mean, I can speculate that Sam Ehlinger is going to be good, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And D. Smith has one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, and we've seen what D. Smith's upside is. Yeah. D. Smith's upside is Pittman's upside. It is. What did Devontae Smith have earlier in the year? 7 for 87 and a touchdown. That's Pittman's Pittman level upside is there. Pittman caught 13 for 100 and something and a touchdown, and I mean it's right there. So I think I'd do either. I'd be more gung ho about Gabe Davis, but I think I would do both. Tamian, what's going on, man? Had to trade Swift for Debo. I like that.
That's fine.
I like that. But your running backs are Eckler, Etienne, Walker, and Henderson.
And then you got Debo, Hopkins, and then some guys.
Yeah,
Thomas
no, I
and
like
Bateman,
that considering
solid,
you have
but
very good running backs.
Have been difficult to trust. No, yeah, you got a wide receiver. I mean, it's also annoying because it's also a little frustrating because, again, Debo did pick up this hamstring injury, and we don't know the severity of it. Day to day, I mean, we'll see what day to day means. It could mean days. We hope it means days, but we know that things don't actually mean what you think they would all the time in the NFL. But yeah, I would say that's a good upgrade from your previous situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine.
Cameron, would you start Snoop Connor over Madison?
I'm not starting.
I'm hoping I don't have to start either.
Not starting either one of them. Certainly not Snoop when he hasn't even been activated for a game yet.
Right. I still think it's
that now.
I still think it's JaMychal Hasty. I think Snoop Connor will mix in, but we'll see.
Hasty's worth a look in deep leagues, and will probably mix in more at least to start for these next couple of weeks. Yeah, keep an eye on Connor, but we're not starting this guy anywhere in any situation.
No. I'm pretty sure he didn't have the greatest, and I know it's preseason, but he did not have the greatest preseason.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
He
about
hasn't
that.
looked the greatest. Those are his college numbers. I'm looking for his NFL numbers thus far.
I mean, I'm not going to put a ton of stock in a preseason performance. We see guys pop in preseason all the time, and then.
Yeah, but I mean, you see guys not pop in preseason, and then.
I mean, I would say I don't think there's a correlation to be concerned about there. The thing is, he has not been activated for an actual game yet. So yeah, I'm not going to kill him before he gets his chance, but
I am. Tim,
that's not fair.
Is it me or should I start Herb over Monty at this point? Always gets more points. I mean, it's getting very close to Pollard, Zeke. Who do you play, Pollard or Zeke? And it's a toss-up any given week. And it's getting to that point with Herbert and Montgomery at this point. Herbert shows more juice every game, and Montgomery seems at this point like a boring plotter. At 24 years old, it's kind of crazy. We're already there.
He doesn't always get more points, but yeah, he is more explosive.
Yeah, like Tony Pollard doesn't always get more points than Zeke, but he always looks more explosive.
Well, yeah.
Randy, I would hold on to Gus Edwards over DJ Moore. I mean, and who are your quarterbacks? Who's your quarterback if you're trading Tua for Khalil Herbert?
Burrow. Yeah, actually, I say do this. I say do all of that.
You would rather have DJ Moore than Gus Edwards?
Absolutely. You have Mixon, Etienne, Walker.
I'm shooting for higher than DJ Moore right now, man.
DJ Moore fired this past week. How much higher can you get for Gus Edwards right now? Name a receiver bet. I don't know, Terry McLaurin. Who would you rather have?
Just looking at what DJ Moore did. 7 for 69 and a TD. So he scored a TD, but he had a DJ Moore game.
That's fine. He was you could have started him this past week in best ball. He was a starter in every lineup where he was drafted.
Yeah, but I have to think it's a fluke game from PJ Walker. I have to. But on the other side of the token, who else do they have to throw to in that offense? So maybe Maybe it is DJ Moore now is a wide receiver too with PJ Walker at QB. I don't know.
Well, you just got done saying Gus Edwards is not going to have another 2-touchdown game too.
Yeah, but who I can say that about a lot of people. But I think Gus Edwards can get 60 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns is a lofty goal, but
yeah, I
think Gus Edwards can get 60 yards and a touchdown from now until whenever the situation gets muddied again, if and when J.K. Dobbins comes back.
You're not playing
Mixon,
Gus Edwards.
ETN, Walker, Herbert.
With those guys, I mean, you can even Edwards and Herbert are a wash.
Think about what we were just talking about Pittman.
That's just depth.
See if you can I'm trying to package. If I got Mixon, ETN, and Walker, then I make the trade Tua for Herbert, and then let me give up Herbert and Edwards for a better wide receiver.
All right, I mean, you could try. Yeah, I mean, you could try.
You have. Yeah.
You can try. I don't know if that's gonna get it done for again. I don't even know if. Yes, they're both running backs. Yes, they're good depth running backs. There could be somebody out there who's hurting for depth at a
somebody
position.
Who just lost Brees.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I just don't know how good of a wide receiver you can get.
I think the DJ Moore should be your fallback, but I think you trade for Khalil Herbert and then try to find a better wide receiver, or at least a more consistent wide receiver. Package Gus Edwards and Herbert for that more consistent wide receiver. And then I think the Gus Edwards for DJ Moore, factoring in what he did this past week, because I was not aware of what he did this past week, that should be your fallback. But I hope that helps, man. New era Keontae or Snoop Connor final roster spot.
I mean, give it to the guy who's been.
I'd rather have Keontae. We saw him have a touchdown.
Yeah, we've seen him play in a game and look pretty good doing it.
Yep.
Again, I'm Snoop is probably going to get some form of a chance here, but we just don't. We know nothing right now with Keontae. We've seen him deliver. We've seen him do stuff.
Yep. Tom, you play in a 40-year-old league. Wow. Congratulations for having a league last
awesome.
That long. That's pretty cool. But champ is decided by total season points. Is that still even a thing?
Oh,
or should you propose to move head-to-head next season? I think it's still a thing, and if you're having fun with it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, and, the follow-up is maybe you're not enjoying it because you're proposing to move to head-to-head. Look, I mean, head-to-head is classic. I don't think total points would be considered classic or the original, as far as I know. Head-to-head has been the norm for most leagues. Lots of people. I feel like total season points is a more modern thing, actually.
And maybe you could have a portion of the winnings go towards the person who has the total amount, most seasonal points by year's end, but then you also throw in some a head-to-head situation. I know that's how we operate in one of our longest-standing keeper leagues, or our longest-standing keeper league is the person with the most amount of points does get a portion of the pot, but it's still primarily a head-to-head league. So maybe you can kind of toe the line and do a little bit of both.
Sure.
Maybe you can start another league and have everybody from that league that you're in, that you've been in for 40 years, join another league that is head-to-head, just to keep the 40-year-old league going, but also try something new. You could go a variety of different ways, but, I mean, it's really cool that you've got a league that's been going for 40 years.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just, what does the league want to do, or the majority of the league? Hopefully it gets sorted out. I mean, either one, if I'll say this, I play head-to-head. If everybody came to me collectively and said, we want to change it to total season points, I would not fight it.
No.
If you wanted to, like you did, if you did the playoffs or whatever, maybe the regular season is by total points. That's what I think it should be. The regular season is determined by total points, and then it's head-to-head matchups for the playoffs. That, I think, makes the most sense, because then it's like, the team with the most points will be in first place facing, say, the 6th place team who scored the 6th most points. So by the literal numbers, the matchups are determined kind of fairly. And a team that has, high point totals but bad luck doesn't get screwed.
Yeah, solid way to go.
Yep.
Solid way to go.
But you're gonna have old head. You're gonna have you're gonna have traditionalists who would fight that. But anyway, Tamian's 6-1. That's pretty damn cool.
Very good
maybe
job,
not
Tamian.
in a larger league, but that's okay. You focus on the team where you're good at. That's all good.
Yep.
Nicely done. Hey, it's good to. Hey, as long as you have one team where it's like, yes, I can. This one's worth fighting for. You have other bad ones, then you have other bad ones. Like literally, welcome to fantasy football.
Yep. Eric, what's happening, man? Who do you start this week? I'd be starting Amon-Ra, Pittman, and Gabe.
Yeah, Amon-Ra and Gabe for sure. Pittman. Who are the Colts playing now?
Washington.
With Sam Ellinger, Washington. Okay. Yeah. Where is that game? Is that at home for them? It is at home for them. Yeah. Pittman, Amon-Ra, Gabe.
Yep. Good core of wide receivers, though.
Yeah. Terry had a nice day last week. Taylor Heineke, man.
And new era. You said it will be top 6. Your team is in shambles.
Then maybe ask for, then either do nothing or ask for Brees plus. Because he's hurt and you're taking on a risk.
Yeah, I mean,
and it can be a good plus, not a pot sweetener. Screw it, just be like, I'll do it if you give me your 25 first. Just kick the can down the road and pick up it's something like that. I don't know. Don't ask for a nothing plus. If he scoffs at it, then that's fine, or she. If they, if they're not going to go for it, then fine, okay. But you're taking on a huge risk. And they're asking for a good first-round pick. Tell them to empty the cupboard.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, we expect Brees Hall to be back 100%.
Sure.
So
if you're willing to be patient.
Right. Just look at what Saquon's been doing. Back 100%. Only 25 years old. Clear-cut RB1 with top 3 upside. I mean, Brees should get back to that point. It's going to be a waiting game. Mm-hmm. Then you're pushing that can down the road if you're trading your 23 first. So try to get a second back. Try to get a second and 24 back. Try to get something like that. Yep. Wentworth, how you doing, man? Should I trade D-Hop and Foreman for ETN and Goddard? Have Brees and you went down.
Yeah. Oof. Who are your other wide receivers? Because I don't hate that. I don't hate it, but I would want to know who your other wide receivers are.
Yeah, I don't hate that either.
I don't see them yet, so go ahead and post them.
Clear-cut upgrade at running back, and you get a good tight end in the deal.
Yeah. Depending on if you're set at wide receiver, if you're like, I've got some good options, I have another wide receiver 1 and a couple 2s or something like that, then I would say yes.
Nemo, Irv Smith or Gucci D? I mean,
easy. Irv,
a better quarterback, and that's
better matchup.
That too. I'm just saying better. I want the guy that's not Brett Ripien or Russell Wilson right now. Kirk Cousins. So better quarterback. Tim, what do you think about Gibson or Robinson? You have both.
Ugh. I don't know. It's they're RB3s with RB2 upside depending on the game script that we can't predict.
Yeah.
They're both tough to trust.
I mean, the Jets also lost Elijah Vera Tucker, so their O-line takes another hit. It's not just Brees. They lost Elijah Vera Tucker. They were already down Mekhi Becton. Their O-line is kind of in shambles, so their run game is going to take a little bit of a hit. Maybe Robinson.
That's the Jets.
Huh?
That's the. I think he means Brian Robinson.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, I think because he's got Gibson and Brian Robinson.
Got you. My bad.
I think that's what he means. Yeah, not James Robinson.
Yeah, I mean,
who I like better than both of these guys. I think
it's Edge Brian but both are RB3s.
Caught the touchdown. It's going to be like, is Brian the guy who's between the 20s, and then Gibson is used in the red zone? Like,
yeah, it's what it looked like last week.
Gibson got a goal, like was first up on the goal line, I think. Robinson was first up on the goal line Thursday night, week 6. Gibson was first up on the goal line this week. I think we're looking at a frustrating committee, and it's, even as a package, I think they're not very enticing in a trade, and it's going to be, you're just going to have to take a calculated guess if you have to start one each week. That's what I think about them. What I think about them is that I don't want to think about them.
Yeah.
Like, I like Gibson, but the team doesn't feel the same way.
I really like Gibson, and it's confounding what they're doing with him.
And I'm happy for Robinson. I am officially rooting for Robinson's success. I don't know. Avoid. Well, you can't, but other than bye weeks, avoid.
Yeah, but in case of injury, if one of them gets injured, the other one's a volume-based mid-tier to high-end RB2. And if that is Gibson, then he does have RB1 viability on a week-to-week basis, depending on the opponent. Yeah. Because we've seen it before. Nemo, that's 3 weeks you signed Walker, Gus, and Kyron. Is this in the zombie?
No, I think this is...
No, you don't have Mr. Barkley, so this is not in the zombie. Very good job, man. Been active on that waiver wire. Very good job.
That's awesome.
Van or Duvernay rest of season... I mean, if I have to choose, I think it's Duvernay, man. Because even if he doesn't get you what he in the past game, man, playing special teams, kicking and punt returning, he's scored that way as well.
What did he do this
and he
past
is
week?
their number 2 wide receiver, and Brashad Bateman is kind of MIA right now. So he's kind of operating like their number 2 pass catcher.
Yeah. Well, even Mark Andrews didn't catch a pass this past week. I don't know if that's from injury or just
The report was that it's because they were like double and triple teaming him, trying to take him out of the game as the only viable option in the pass game.
Yeah,
and it worked.
This passing offense is tough to trust right now. I think I would say Van. Because yes, the Rams are probably worse on offense, but at least we know that they're going to throw a lot because they can't run the ball. The Ravens can run the ball with success. The Rams can't run the ball at all. Like, Darrell Henderson has RB2 upside the rest of the season because he's going to get 16 carries for 50 yards and he might score every other week. Like, it's going to just come through on volume. But not a lot of output because they can't run the ball. That offensive line is a train wreck. And I know you might think, well, then how does that help Van? Just from the perspective of these are two offenses that are very shoddy right now, but at least the Rams are going to throw. That's what I got. I like Duvernay, but past couple of weeks we've seen, his floor is 5 points or less. Because it's a low volume passing offense and he's just not getting the work.
I think they're like the same player. I think they are the same player, and it's really hard to distinguish between the two because they should be getting anywhere from 3 to 5 targets a game. And you're basically hoping for a touchdown from either. If they're not getting you a touchdown, it's sub 5 points. So they're basically the same player. It's really hard to choose between the two. It's preferential.
And then,
Cameron,
I mean, claim in for Pacheco. That's fine. That's fine.
We were right on Pacheco, speculating that starting could mean he's getting 33% of the work. He ended up getting 30% of the work.
30% of the snaps. No, 30% of the snaps. I think he got less work.
Okay, that's what I meant with.
Okay.
Snaps. I mean, put in a claim.
Yeah, hang on.
Probably don't have to throw a ton of fab on it right now, considering the what he did this past week. But there are worse claims to put a claim. And if you need a running back, then just do it. and hope that he can work himself into more of a workload, in the incoming weeks. And no need to apologize, man. With our streams, at least we like to focus on the week ahead of us and not too far ahead. It's all good. With predictions and stuff like that. But yeah, all good. Mark Refford, should I trade Mixon for Swift and Goddard? Yes,
I mean,
think
yes,
so.
But as long as you have other healthy backs, as long as you have other healthy running backs, then sure. Dang, we got a lot of questions and comments.
Hassan, thank you very much. And then, all right, let's start rapid firing these. Tim, you accidentally dropped Carter Sunday, but you have J-Rob. Should I pick him back up? Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
If your league allows you to reacquire a guy off waivers that you dropped before anybody else gets him, then yeah. I mean, all those guys are fine. Gus is available. Carter's available. Foreman's available. Yeah, put in claims for all of them.
Yeah, just try to get one. With an emphasis on Gus and Carter over Campbell?
Yeah, I guess
Who's
Gus.
Campbell?
I guess Carter. I mean, any one of them.
Who is Campbell?
Paris Campbell.
He's all right. I was thinking running back.
2 good weeks in a row, but that was with Matt Ryan. I don't know if he keeps it up with Ellinger, so he would be 4th here for me.
Yep.
Because he's good running back options on the wire. Yeah, I mean, all of them are viable. Just personal preference, to be honest.
Travis Heath, trade Cook for Waddle, full PPR. You
Yes.
have Pierce, Stevenson, Swift. Sure.
Yes, do it.
With those wide receivers, too, yes, I would do that.
Yeah, Cook with the shoulder injury concerns me rest of season. Waddle is performing like a wide receiver 1 right now,
yep.
Or on the season.
Got his QB back. Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Hey, Riley, that actually worked for me last year, so I'm not going to say that.
Change it before your team gets good.
Either. I'm either.
Sure.
Greg Z, trying to clean up my bench a little bit. Zay Jones, Garrett Wilson, or Paris Campbell rest of season. I mean, with Corey Davis getting banged up, with Elijah Moore taking a break from the team and his status kind of up in the air at this point, my gut is to say Garrett Wilson.
He's expected to be active this week, but yeah, I think I would bet on the talent and just go with Wilson.
And with Breece's receiving work disappearing from the offense because of the injury, Garrett could pick up some of that slack. So Garrett.
Nemo, do not do that deal, man.
Nope.
Yes, it's as bad as it looks. Or Mike Boone's on IR, so he's a literal 0 for the rest of the season,
yeah.
Or at least, or is he going for the year or just the next 4 games?
He's the next few games, but even then, when he comes back, they just signed Marlon Mack off the 49ers practice squad. Like he looks like he's an afterthought to the team, so he should be an afterthought to you.
I love Jamar, but the linchpin here is easy. It's Kenneth Walker. You are holding on to Kenneth Walker for dear life.
And TJ Hawkinson's still a top 10 tight end, and Amari Cooper will have better days. So yeah, looks as bad as it looks. Greg Z, also Hurst or Pitts this week at tight end.
Hurst.
It's crazy we're there, but yep.
Hurst. The Falcons were down 3 scores. They threw the ball 13 times. They're not even going to change their game plan when they are trailing by 3 scores.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You can't really trust anybody in this offense not named
There's not
Algier.
a single guy in this offense who you can trust. So, yeah, Hurst.
And Iron, we hope so too. But it'll probably be the year after. It probably won't be next year.
Hopefully.
Joe Harris, good evening to you too. You're 3-4 in a 12-team full PPR, 3 wide receiver lineup. You have Metcalf as your flex. Would you guys drop Dobbins for Renfro, DPJ? No. No.
No.
None of them.
No,
I would hold Dobbins just in case.
And if you have the 8th waiver, save it. Let it go up a little bit tonight.
Yep. Also, would you drop the Chiefs kicker? I mean, for who?
Well, yeah, because he's on bye this week, so you might as well. There's no reason to hold him.
Fair.
I mean, I guess you could drop Everett if you want to pick up a kicker because he's also on bye, but then you're, leaving him the chance. with Mike Williams now. First, it was Keenan Allen missed time, and now Mike Williams is going to likely miss an undisclosed number of games, say a minimum of 1 or 2. So do that at your own risk, I guess. But he is on bye this week, so if you wanted to hang on to Butker, you could also drop Everett. That's up to you. I don't know if I would do that. I might just drop the kicker.
I mean, would you drop? I wouldn't try. Yeah, just drop the kicker.
I would either drop the kicker, or if you really want to keep Butker, then Everett is your other drop because he's also on bye. But I don't know if I will.
But then, I mean, you try to get Butker back again.
Yeah, right.
And if you are that worried about your kicker, I guess you could entertain dropping Pacheco. But then you'd make it a priority to get Pacheco back on your team too. So either way, drop one of them Chiefs. But I guess drop the kicker.
I guess he'd be third for me just because he is a running back. But
yeah.
He may also prove to end up not having been worth it to pick up. We'll see.
Raul Morales, good to see you, man. Should I pick up
Raul?
Donovan Peoples-Jones or Elijah Moore in a standard league?
DPJ.
I would go DPJ because he's playing right now.
He exists.
Elijah Moore is up in the air, and even when he's been playing, he's been an afterthought in his own offense.
Yeah, he hasn't had a single good week, even when he was in there. Even when Flacco was ripping it 50 times a game. Did you know Joe Flacco still has more pass attempts on the season than Marcus Mariota?
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
and Xavier, you have Hurts too? Then yeah, I'd be happy with getting Devonta Smith.
True.
That makes it even better.
You can get a little extra because it
is Devonta Smith, and it is slight
on
downgrade.
On paper, it looks like a steep downgrade, so you can get a little extra.
Jay Judah, Kenneth Walker for Derrick Henry. Wow.
That is fair.
I mean, at this point, they are very close in their rankings.
Just depends on if you want to do it or not.
I think I would still rather hold on to Derrick Henry.
Walker looks great.
Walker looks phenomenal.
He looks
But
awesome.
I think at this point, I still want to hold on to Derrick Henry.
That's fine.
If you can squeeze a little bit more out of it. See if at that point, then I'm fine with it. If you can squeeze a little bit more out of shipping off Derrick Henry, see if you can get another much lesser asset, then I'd be fine. But if it's a 1-for-1, I do want to keep Henry.
Okay.
Iron lost Hall in a 24-team best ball league. Oh,
yeah.
That is bad luck. But hey, I hope you have the depth to be able to withstand it. Did you pick up Michael Carter in that best ball league too?
A lot of people are in pain right now due to the loss of Brees.
Yep. Greg Z, in your other league, defense this week, Indy, Dolphins, or Colts, tight end Stream, Hill, Pat Fryermuth, Tunyon, or Knox?
Without looking at it, I don't know who the Dolphins play this week. I guess Indy and Colts are the same. Indy or Colts.
Miami's playing Detroit.
That game's in Detroit. No, the Colts. They're playing Washington. Taylor Heineke at home.
And I think I go Pat Fryermuth, man. He was the highest targeted player on that Pittsburgh team against Miami this past week. Kind of a barn burner of a game, but I think I'm going back to Pat Fryermuth.
Be careful, they're playing the Eagles.
Gonna have to run up the score then.
Yeah, I guess.
Start sit advice. Your running backs are JT Fournette, Mostert, and Travis Etienne. Looking to start 2. JT and flex 1. I mean, then you're sitting Mostert.
Yeah, you're sitting Mostert.
Flex one of the other 2 or Gabe Davis. So I guess it's Travis Etienne or Gabe. Or Fournette or Gabe.
I'm playing the running backs.
I can't move away from Travis now that he has basically the full role to himself. I think I'm going with those running backs too.
And we saw what he could do with it. Yeah.
Who are your wide receivers? Yeah. That you're sitting Gabe now. Tamian, in that 12th man, would you give up Henderson, Curtis Samuel, Bateman, and Dubs for 1 wide receiver 1/2 and 1 RB 1/2?
I mean, you can offer it, but
because that's the 4 for
it.
2 that I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to give up 4 superstars for 2 superstars, but if I can give up 4 second tier, third tier players for 2 first and second tier players, then yeah. You're trying to get CMC and Amon, you're probably not going to get them, but yeah, look a step lower than that, and I still think that's okay. Lucius, would you trade Debo for Amon-Ra in a half PPR league?
You could. I would probably want a little extra if I was giving up Debo.
I think I'd rather have Debo.
I'd probably rather have Debo too, which is why I was like, I would probably ask for a little extra. So Amon-Ra plus something, fine. 1 for 1. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Try to get something else added on.
Yeah.
Tamian, you would also get IDP player upgrades if no one takes them. Can I just drop dubs? I wouldn't drop dubs.
I think you can.
You think you can drop dubs outright?
This Packers offense stinks. They stink. He got blanked. He did nothing. In redrafts?
Who else is on your bench?
This past week 7, he had nothing on 4 targets, no catches. The week before that, 4 catches, 21 yards. The week before that, 3 catches for 29 yards. I mean, it was only 3 weeks ago where he did give you 5 for 47 and a touchdown against the Patriots.
And 8 for 8 for 73 and a touchdown the week before that.
Right.
He's still basically a mostly full-time role player,
on the road in Buffalo. There's no way you're firing him up. Therefore, I think he can be dropped.
I guess, man, it just doesn't feel great. But
if you can move him in a trade, that would be best. But if nobody wants him as a piece to throw in, then I think that means you're safe to drop him. Because if nobody wants him, then you could always try to get him back later on waivers.
But try for a trade, because I do think he still has a little name recognition value. But I guess to your point, he gave you a 0 last week, and we're not expecting much this week going up against Buffalo. So,
nope.
Yeah, I guess you can cut your losses. I wasn't aware that he blanked.
Yeah, he blanked. That offense stinks.
Iron, in another league where you lost Hall, would you and you would like to trade for Skywalker? Your other running backs are ETN and Stevenson. Wide receivers are Chase, JJ, Pittman, D-Hop, Curtis, and J-Mo. Think I should get Pittman and D-Hop for Skywalker.
Sure. Offer, yeah. You already have Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Offer Pittman and Hopkins. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Your wide receiver 3 is going to be weak, but Curtis Samuel did okay with Heineke in there. Maybe it's not that weak. And then you have Walker, ETN, and Stevenson. Yeah, and you still have Chase and Jefferson. Sure, I wouldn't offer more. But I think that is the offer that gets it done. One of those guys straight up is not going to get it done.
No. And I have been an advocate of seeing if you can package J-Mo with a person who's playing right now for an upgrade, but that's not going to get it done in this case if you're trying to get Skywalker either. So you can't do that. But again, just a reminder, if you have Jameson Williams sitting on your IR spot, see if you can package him with an active player for an upgrade. Quinn Math, good to see you, man. What's fair value to sell Devontae Adams right now? I mean, try to get a low-end RB1.
Yeah. Yeah. And RB1, hell.
He's the wide receiver 6 right now. You don't even have to shoot for a low-end RB1. Yeah.
Right.
Try to get a mid-tier RB1.
ETN, Walker, like either one
Josh
of those
Jacobs, see if somebody's Still low
I
on
don't
Josh
know if
Jacobs.
Jacobs may have just made himself untradeable.
Might have, but also
week.
somebody might be just trying to sell high. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Sure.
People might still not believe in Josh Jacobs. We do. So try to get a mid-tier RB1. Richie Rich, White, Gordon, Godwin, Campbell. In what order should I place my claims?
Goodwin, Gordon.
White. Shad White first. Would you rather have White or Gordon?
Unless you need a body now. If you're just looking to stash somebody, then Rashad. If you're like
Rashad had more rushing attempts and yards than Leonard Fournette last week.
I know. Are you firing him up on Thursday night against Baltimore?
No, but I think I'd rather have him than Goodwin or Campbell.
Well, I'm saying if you need a body this week, I think you have to like roll the dice on Gordon. I know White outproduced Leonard Fournette, but we're not talking like he didn't even have like a flex worthy week.
Yeah, but neither did Gordon. He had 6 points.
Who are they playing this week? They played the Jets this past week. The Jets are good against the
Jacksonville,
run.
who are worse against the run.
Yeah, they stink. And Mike Boone's on IR. Not that he got any work, but
they just brought in Marlon Mack for what that's worth.
I unfortunately I don't think that means anything. I think Gordon's kind of done. Yeah, he might be done.
So in that case, I think I would still rather have White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but
Baltimore
you can't start any of these dudes.
Desperation, but I would still rather have White. Joe, do you guys have a favorite defense to stream this week? No Thursday night streams are available.
Well, the Bears bucked the trend of targeting them last night when they smacked the Patriots around.
Are the Jets versus New England available, considering that the Bears just murdered the Patriots?
The Patriots can't even tell us who their starting quarterback is.
Titans v. Houston.
Yeah, Titans
just
might be
based off of
fine.
the matchup. Like, those are two options that I guess I'd be looking at. Indy versus Washington.
I guess Jacksonville against Denver, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? The London game. Brett Ripien.
But the first defense I would go after would be I'm trying to play anybody against New England right now.
I mean, shoot. Well, yeah, I think that might be the new thing to target. The Patriots offense might be the thing to target. I guess on the other side, either defense in that Colts Commanders game, even Washington might be fine, even though they're on the road. They put together a couple good performances in a row now together, including against Aaron Rodgers. And now they get a guy making his first career start in Ellinger behind a bad offensive line. Washington might be all right. Yeah, so there's quite a few options I think you have this week as far as defense streams.
Yep. Quinn, very solid pickup. Good to capitalize on that.
Nice.
Ray, should I make this trade in giving up Kyler Murray, Fournette, Ertz, and more for Lamar and Andrews?
You have Dalvin Cook, you have Kenneth Walker. You didn't list any of your other backups, so I'm not sure who else you're working with as far as on your bench. I would just say you're taking a pretty big loss at running back. You're getting a good upgrade, not a sizable upgrade going from Kyler to Lamar.
No, you're jumping 2 spots. Lamar's number 4 and Kyler's number 6 in current quarterback rankings in terms
so you're
of what
not
they've
talking
done
about
on the year.
much of a drop off at all. Andrews is better than Ertz, despite the goose egg.
But Ertz is the tight end 3 right now, whereas Andrews, I think, is the tight end 2. So, I mean, even that, you're...
Yeah, and you're taking a significant hit by giving up an RB1.
I wouldn't do that trade.
Back. No, I wouldn't do that either. I would not do that either. I would stick with what you have, especially because I don't feel great about Dalvin Cook moving forward. Every week that he gets through healthy is great. That's a dub. Shoulder dislocations are dicey. I would rather be, if I have Dalvin Cook,
I'm trying to move Cook over Fournette.
Yeah, I'm trying to move Cook. I'm not trying to move Fournette.
But I wouldn't even do that if it's Kyler.
Right, I
Cook hurts more from Lamar and Andrews either.
No.
I need something else on the Lamar side.
No.
For that to be equitable for me.
Plus, you have Hopkins. Keep this, and you have Ertz. You have you have the Cardinal stack already anyway.
Yeah, I'm
keep
staying
the
pat.
Cardinal stack. Yeah,
I'm staying pat.
Stay right where you're at.
Nemo, yeah, they were working it all out. They're probably looking at stats in the newspaper.
They were doing
and
it by
stuff.
hand.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
the diehards. Gotta respect that.
Newspaper box score. I think my dad did stuff like that.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Much respect.
That's awesome.
Bap Jap, you're in a family beginner league. Sister's boyfriend keeps offering me hot garbage deals. Wants me to trade CeeDee Lamb for Allen Lazard. No.
Smack him upside the head.
No.
No. No.
Start throwing crazy offers at him.
Yeah. Return the favor by offering your end of bench dudes for his better players. That's how you return the favor.
Yep. MLK just lost Dobbins. Should I trade Jacoby Myers for Brian Robinson? You have Chubb and Edmonds.
Sure. That's fine. I mean, that's fine. I like Myers, but sometimes like boring running back depth is more important than interesting, wide receiver threes in PPR.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's good to get some depth.
Yeah, Babjap, send Josh Reynolds for like his second best running back and see what happens.
Right. Yeah. Return the favor. You send me crap offers, you get crap offers in return. That's the deal.
And Nemo, yeah, sometimes seeding hurts, but it is what it is, man. It's the game we play. Hurricane YK.
Yeah, well.
What is the serious help you need? I guess we'll see it down below.
I see it right here.
Yep.
We can go to it. Deontay Amon-Ra, Drake London, Wan'Dale, Devontae Smith, Kenneth Walker, Donta Foreman, Eckler, James Robinson, Kelsey.
Are you in that much? I mean, your wide receivers need a little work.
The wide receivers are hurting. That's where the concern is. Offer Foreman for you can sell high on Donta Foreman right now, Hurricane. Offer Dante and honestly anybody other than I would offer Deontay Johnson because he's got the most name recognition. Just hope somebody like falls asleep at the wheel a little bit. Offer Donta Foreman and Deontay Johnson for
a low-end wide receiver one.
A good wide receiver. I'm trying to think of like who's like somebody fair that you can like try to target here. I mean, you should be able to offer. You're giving up a running back who had a great performance in Donta Foreman in a tough matchup.
Godwin,
and a no-name in Deontay Johnson.
Looks like he was playing second fiddle to Evans all game. Try to get Godwin. Try going after a Gabe Davis or a T. Higgins who played second fiddle to Tyler Boyd this past week. Try to get Amari Cooper on your squad. Something like that.
Get a good wide receiver. Yep, there you go, Hurricane. Don't offer Kenneth Walker. If somebody comes back and says, give me Walker, no, hard no. If they want James Robinson, okay, we can tweak the parameters of the deal.
I'm basically not trading Walker wherever I have him.
Oh, God, no. I need Saquon I would need Saquon in a 1-for-1 swap.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
I would do that.
Yeah, and Costone thinks the same as us, Bapjap. Tim Shields, QB on bye. Should I go with Jones, Heineke, Mariota, or Goff?
Jones. Mac Jones? No. I would probably play Goff just because he's at home. And
Goff.
Yeah, he's at home. And that's it. That's the end of my thought. Goff plays better at home.
Daniel Jones, then Daniel Jones. But other than that, Goff.
Actually, if it's Daniel Jones, then Daniel Jones. My mind went to Mac because the Patriots just played last night and he got benched.
Yeah.
No, we were going to bring him back in the game, but the score got out of hand. Okay, Bill. Daniel Jones and then Goff. I want nothing to do with Mariota. He's just not throwing the football.
I think that's the answer. Daniel Jones, then Goff. If it's not Daniel Jones, then Goff.
Then Goff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
And Nemo, nah, man. I'll give you the backup ones.
There you go.
Riley, you got a league where you play against the league average as well. I always thought that was cool. I always thought that was intriguing, as well as your head-to-head opponent. Yeah. Interesting. I've never played in that format before, but it is interesting.
I like that a lot, though, because you're able to measure yourself against the rest of the league every week, and it's just like it's not as
It's not that situation where you're getting everybody's best week, and then you're 1-6 by week 7. Because you do have those equalizers in there. So I like that.
Again, traditionalists will complain about it. Call it soft or whatever, but no, I like it.
Nemo, hold Gallup? Yes.
Yeah, yep. Just hold him. I don't think there's Gallup or Paris Campbell. I need to keep. I need to see Gallup one more week. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because it was Dak's first game back. But yeah, if he struggles again next week, then okay, fine, we can talk. But I'll hold for a bit longer.
Raul, I'd rather have Chase Edmonds.
Nah, keep Edmonds.
I'd rather have Chase Edmonds.
I don't know if this is a rookie situation. I know the situation you're talking about. They pop off after the bye week.
If anything happened to Devin Singletary, Zach Moss and James Cook would be in some sort of timeshare. Whereas if anything happened to Raheem Mostert, I think it would be Edmonds' role. So stick with Edmonds. Christian Nova got offered either Hunt or Kirk for DJ Moore. Should I take either of those or hold DJ?
Do you need a running back?
I would entertain Hunt. I wouldn't do a 1-for-1 for Kirk because at this point, I think they might be basically equitable. But I would go from a wide receiver 2/3 to an RB 2/3 just to bolster my RB depth. Yep.
Callie, DJ Moore, easy. Go pick him up.
Yes.
Pick up DJ Moore. Nah, Gainwell can be left on the wire. He has unfortunately not fired the way you would want a depth RB to fire.
No, Miles Sanders is taking the entire backfield.
And the Eagles are constantly being linked to running backs ahead of the trade deadline. So that would further make Gainwell obsolete in that scenario.
Sheldon, thanks for joining us. Your current running backs are Saquon, CEH, Kenny Walker, Ramondre, and Swift. Should I trade a high on Ramondre for a running back?
Yeah, I would.
For a wide receiver. Yeah.
Well, no, I would keep Ramondre and try to sell high
CEH
on or trade DeAndre Swift.
Swift, yeah.
I would trade Swift on the promise of him coming back from this injury. You have your dudes. You have Saquon. You have Walker. You have Ramondre. Clyde's not going to get you anything.
A week ago, I would have said package CEH and Dubs for something, but yeah, that's not going to get her done.
Nah, Swift, I think, can get you a good wide receiver, though, on the promise of what he can give you when he returns.
And you're still 3 deep at RB1, so even after that trade. So, yeah.
I would offer Swift for Evans, for Debo, for AJ. He's an RB. He was drafted high second round. Offer him for one of those good, high-performing wide receivers. I would trade Swift. Get a good wide receiver because you have anchors at running back already.
Mm-hmm. Who's your quarterback? Can you go after the wide receiver 1 for your quarterback? If he's one of those top 6 wide receivers, something like that. D. Lenny, Derrick Henry has a bye this week and Kenneth Walker has not. So how can you negotiate more?
That's how you can negotiate more.
Oh,
yeah, Henry's coming off his bye week, so he's good to go rest of the season. Yeah,
so respect D. Lenny.
Walker, you're going to lose a week. Yeah, no, it's good logic.
Yep. Xavier, do you think Gibby will get the start over Brian Robinson? No.
I don't know, and I don't know if that matters, even if he does.
Yeah, it might be a start in name like Isaiah Pacheco, and then it's basically we're left with the same situation.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
You can try to trade them. I don't know what Robinson gets you right now.
Wait, so 100 humans versus 1 gorilla, or 1 human versus 5 kangaroos? I'd take the 101 against a gorilla, bro.
Or maybe it was 5 people versus 1 kangaroo.
Yeah.
Even then, I would take the 100
Gorilla.
versus the 1. Even
Kangaroos
though
are rocked up, dude. Have you seen?
Kangaroos would kill 5 people.
Have you seen a kangaroo?
No problem.
Have you seen a kangaroo
they are.
close up? They're scary. They're
not close
they're scary.
up, but I know they're
They're not gorilla level, but they're
pedigree.
scary, bro. They kill people.
I mean, the gorilla's gonna take out a shitload of those people. Like, make no mistake, we're coming away with some heavy casualties.
Yeah, I'm running in the back.
But we have the numbers. We have the numbers to overpower him.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 people. If you meant 5 people versus 1 kangaroo, I don't think 5 people are enough.
No, that kangaroo's
Kangaroos are
murdering
fucking
us.
shit up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Greg Z. JT
No,
Mostert.
Lenny over
bench
Mostert.
Lenny. Yeah,
No.
Lenny over Mostert.
Lenny over Mostert. Although
Solid depth to have in Mostert, but Lenny over Mostert.
Mostert is going against Detroit, but we're talking about a guy you drafted high to be an RB1 for you, and he's been pretty good. Play your guy in Fournette.
And thanks for the suggestions, Nemo. Greg says, sorry, Nick. I know you said to roll with the Colts over Miami and Cincy.
Tennessee is also they're playing. Yeah, they could. Yeah, I mean that would be fine too. I guess I would prefer to play Tennessee over Houston just because they're playing better than Indianapolis as a team right now, I guess. I don't know if Ellinger gives them the spark, but I mean, I do like Indianapolis's matchup against Taylor Heineke at home. But yeah, I guess Houston is also an offense worth targeting. Yeah, Tennessee would be fine.
And Fantasy Realist, I would do that. We just talked about that.
Yes.
So yes, I would do that.
Yeah, if I can get Devontae Adams, sure, absolutely.
And D-Lenny, you were right.
A safe wide receiver 1.
Fields had another day.
Fields crushed last night.
Fields had another day, man. He's firmly on the streaming spectrum.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
Yep. Joe Harris, I would still hold on to Dobbins. Doesn't matter if you don't have an IR spot. I'm still holding on to Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
The upside is too real, and while I have heard news that he's edging towards Todd Gurley territory in terms of his knee. I don't have any definitive news on that. So I'm still kind of waiting to see how it plays out. Randy, Higgins and Gus Edwards for A.J. Brown and CEH.
Which side do you... I want... I don't know which side I want here. I guess I want the Higgins side. Clyde didn't fall back to earth. Clyde plummeted back to earth.
But, I mean, you look at the usage, and we should have known it was going to happen.
Well, I'm just... so I think I want Higgins and Gus.
Yeah, Higgins and Gus. Because there will be better days for Higgins. I mean, it was a Boyd week last week, but Higgins in his own right had 5 for 93, I think, and could have had a bigger week.
Oh no, he had a terrible floor play of almost 100.
Right. I'm taking the Higgins-Edwards side.
Yeah. I thought Clyde would remain a little bit more viable, but no.
And Tamian, in a 2QB 16-man league, I honestly think where quarterbacks are concerned, you'd have to probably give up a little bit more than just Barkley. Because you look at what a quarterback is giving you.
Yeah.
Like Josh Allen is giving you 35 to 40 points a week, and Barkley isn't doing that. So you're probably going to have to give up a little bit more than Barkley if you want Josh. But that's where you got to be thinking. And you only need to start one running back. Could you package,
Nixon and Dillon for Kyler?
Yeah. Something like that. Maybe don't go balls to the wall and get a top 2 guy, but try for a middle of the road
get a
QB
top 5 guy who people seem to have a perception of doing worse than he actually is.
Yeah, and considering that Hollywood's going to come back at some point, and that is
Right.
for the playoffs, so you're going to have
Yeah.
D-Hop and Hollywood and Ertz and maybe James Conner for the playoffs, and then it's off to the races with Kyler. So, yeah, try to do Mix and Dillon for Kyler.
Yeah.
Keep Barkley, Pollard. Yeah. Bambo, would you trade Debo and Henderson and Freiermuth for Chubb, Gallup, and Ertz? Yes.
I was about to say, I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
Edge Chubb over Debo, edge Henderson over Gallup, but edge Ertz over Freiermuth.
Yeah.
So I would take the Chubb side.
Yeah, I'll take the Chubb pack. I'll take the Chubb side just because Chubb is showing top 5 upside, and Kareem Hunt's name continues to swirl in trade rumors.
And Ertz is the tight end 3 right now. Like
Yeah.
you can't fight with that. So yeah.
I will say with these RB injuries, maybe the Browns are actually looking at a situation for themselves. Like, well, who's to say that one of our guys doesn't get hurt, and maybe they keep Hunt. But even with Hunt, Chubb has been a top 5 running back this year, and for a stretch, or maybe still was like the RB1.
Yep.
So
Yep. Chubb side.
yeah, I'll take the Chubb side.
So AJ Dillon and Drake London just got dropped. You're last on the wire, but should they make it? I drop Pacheco. I drop Pacheco for AJ Dillon.
For Dillon, yeah.
I don't know if I'd do it for Drake London the way that this team is not passing. I think I'd rather hold on to the running back there, but I think I would drop Pacheco for AJ Dillon.
I think I would drop both of those dudes for both of those dudes if I can. If I
Jamal
could get
Williams, if Swift has a setback, I want Jamal Williams.
Is that Jamal or Jameson?
Is that Jameson? If that's Jameson, then yes, I'm dropping both for both of them. If that's Jamal Williams, I'm holding Jamal, dropping Pacheco for AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
Bambo, you also own Hunt. So yeah.
And Saquon.
Well, he's trading Saquon, isn't he?
No.
Oh, that was the other guy.
Yeah, that was Tamian. Or potentially. And we said no, do Mixon instead.
Yeah, still go for that Chubb side.
Chubb and Saquon, and then you have the Browns backfield in the event that something happens to one, and then you can literally root for the trade to happen. You can root for Kareem Hunt to get traded, and then you have 2 dudes potentially flourishing.
Yeah, and then you make another trade.
Yeah.
Boom. Elout just says I'm on Raw.
I agree
too. D. Lenny just traded Metcalf and Pitts for DJ Moore and Everett.
You have Mike Williams as well.
You need win now guys. Okay. If you need win now guys, that's all right. You're getting an upgrade at tight end. You're taking a hit at wide receiver. But
taking a long-term hit at wide receiver, I guess getting a short-term gain.
Yeah, so hey, if you need to win now, you got to do what you got to do.
If you need the wins, then go for it. Yeah, Mike Williams, I hate that. I mean, it's a high ankle sprain. These are and I've said it before. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I know I've said it on these streams before. They don't derail you forever, but they can screw up your current season as a whole, even after you return from it. So, I hope that Mike Williams bucks that trend, but it might be hard to trust him moving forward. Just in general, even when he comes back. Hopefully it's like a minor high ankle sprain, but that might be an oxymoron. Again, not a doctor.
Roho, good to see you, man. And Durko, rework trade, give Higgins, Barkley, and a 23 second. Get Chase, Javonte Cook, and a 23 fourth.
I was just sorry. I saw bots, but Nemo handled it. Thank you, Nemo. We love our admins.
Absolutely. I want the Barkley side.
Give Higgins, Saquon, 23 second. Get Chase, Javonte Cook, 23 fourth. If I'm competing, I absolutely want the Barkley side. Even if I'm a fringe contender,
I want the Barkley side. If
I
I'm
want the
absolutely
Barkley side.
rebuilding, I want to rework the deal to just give up Barkley and figure out just to find a way to move Barkley for younger assets plus more picks or something like that. But Yeah, the disparity between Chase and Higgins isn't large enough for me to be okay with that.
What's your whole situation, Durko? Like, I mean, you don't need to, you don't need to write us a book, but like, what is your current, like, do you feel like you're competing? Like, what's your situation?
I am not worried about Barkley. He's 2 to 3 years away.
Yeah, we're yeah, right.
So I'm not worried about Barkley.
Yeah. Not worried about Saquon.
Fabian, bad luck, but all you can do is keep pushing, man. All you can do is keep pushing.
I got multiple like 2 and 5 squads this year, man.
Yeah.
You might be thinking to yourself, well, then what the hell? Who gave you a microphone? But it happens. It's a combination of bad luck and, it could be poor roster decisions for that week. Thinking one thing, but the opposite happens. Look, it happens. The truth is, you never know, right? At the end of the day, none of us actually know. We could just make the most calculated mathematical guess that we can draw from or toward as far as like conclusions on your own analysis, if that makes sense. And sometimes that works out, and unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
If you believe in your process at the end of the day, then that's your first thing. That's your first backbone. And year over year, the rest will fall.
Nobody wins 100% of the time in this game, bro. That's what makes winning it all. So
that's what makes it sweet.
Yeah, so sweet. Callie, I would go Dulcich, Otten, Henry, or Dulcich, Otten, Johnson, Henry.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And Finn Carriere, would you trade Kirk and Gabe for Waddle? Well, if you are really set at wide receiver and Kirk and Gabe happen to be your third and fourth or fourth and fifth wide receiver, and you still have maybe a guy behind them even, and you're just trying to upgrade there, then I'm fine with that. It's just I like Gabe as a high-end wide receiver 2, but Waddle's a low-end wide receiver 1. If you got to give up Kirk to make that move, I guess I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with it. Waddle's operating like a clear wide receiver 1.
Yep.
Although Gabe is. The only reason Gabe's not quite in that conversation yet is because of that stupid ankle injury he picked up in practice week 2. I will say.
And Fabian, there is no go-to wide receiver for Rodgers anymore. And every wide receiver is in Rodgers' doghouse. Every wide receiver not named Randall Cobb. Even with Cobb hurt. Like, it's just...
The go-to receiver is Aaron Jones.
Yeah. And I've lost faith in pretty much the entire Green Bay offense.
Oh, that offense stinks out loud right now.
Durko, Clyde was the RB3 on the year through 4 to 5 weeks.
It was, yeah, I know. Look, I get it.
He
right?
did take off.
He came through on touchdowns. He got through. He came through on touchdowns. The yards per touch, all that stuff didn't exactly blow you out of the water. But at the end of the day, the numbers were there for you to a point where there was an incredibly high sell high window. Now, I did advocate holding Clyde, so I might have taken an L there. But the fact that there was the fact that window and time period existed, yeah, he fired for quite a few weeks. Like,
yes. So I'm not going to say he never took off. And unfortunately, guys, we're not cutting it off right now, but I do have a ton of work to do for work.
We're juggling some work.
Very soon, or not very soon, but tonight after the stream. So I do want to kind of rapid fire this and move through this. It's probably going to be more of a 2-hour stream than a 3-hour stream tonight. But
just as an FYI.
Yeah, just as an FYI, we are going to be moving quicker through these next few couple of questions here. And it is probably going to be a 2-hour cutoff for us, unfortunately. But Xavier, would you trade D. Harris and Tunyon for Pollard? Depending on your tight end situation, absolutely.
Sure.
If you're set at tight end, then yes. If Pollard is your TE2, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Grefford, should I trade Mixon for Swift?
No. Mixon's healthy and getting volume.
Or Mixon for Debo and Kirk. You need a flex.
That I might do, depending on
who are your other running backs?
Who are your other running backs, Mark? I know you had a question like way earlier, closer to. Oh, I think it was the same thing. Okay, so maybe it was for Swift and he was originally asking Mixon for Swift and Goddard. Maybe that was asking too much. I don't want to do just Mixon for Swift. Swift has been banged up. Mixon's been coming through with volume.
Yeah, if you need a flex, you can't rely on Swift right now. Debo and Kirk, if you need a flex, again, and right now, like if you're in desperation mode and you just need players on your starting roster, then you got to make moves like this sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
because Debo will have better days ahead. Outsold Chaotic, Fournette and Pierce for Henry and Amon-Ra.
I want the Fournette side. I think. What did Pierce do this past week? I don't think he blew
If you need to diversify your roster, if you're heavy at running back and you're not at wide receiver and you need to, I would be okay with it, but that's the only situation in which I'm okay with it. If your wide receivers are good, I'm not making this deal.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. I think I would keep my depending. I'm not sure which side you have, but if you have Henry and Amon-Ra, I think I might pull the trigger on that. If you have Fournette and Pierce, I think I want the running backs.
Yes, me too. But if you are decimated at wide receiver, then I'm okay making that deal. Just again, and your record's bad, I'm okay with that. Because scramble time if your record's bad.
Yeah.
Marco, you got Lamb for Debo, so your next trade Fournette for what I really need. RB best would be 2 running backs. Fournette for 2 running backs? Is that what you're asking here?
Then it's gonna be 2 RB2s. I'd rather have 1 RB1.
Got Lamb for Debo.
I'm fine with that.
Fournette.
Fine with getting Lamb for Debo. I think I'd rather just keep Fournette. I mean, it depends on the running backs you're able to get, but I'm going to assume you're going to have to settle for, if you're trying to get 2 running backs, like what are you going to get? Like Pollard and Brian Robinson, or maybe Gus Edwards? Like, you might, if you're trying to get 2 guys, you're going to have to get 2 like I don't know,
Pollard or Montgomery. Pollard and Montgomery. Then I'm thinking I still want Fournette.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can get another name plus and rip somebody off, I guess go for it. But you're probably not going to be able to do that. I think I would just keep Fournette.
And D-Lenny, Everett over Pitts for the next few weeks. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You don't have Mike Williams, but because he's gone now, Everett retained. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I got you. Okay. Yep. Got you. Yep.
And solid wide receivers. Yep.
Yeah. Pickens stays nice. If Chase Claypool gets traded, you want to talk? I hope we have a fun NFL trade deadline. That would be cool.
And Daniel, should I trade away Russell Wilson, Lenny, Debo, and Pittman for Amari Cooper, James Conner, and Tyreek?
Ooh. No. Because
I'm fine divesting myself at Russell Wilson. He's a drop candidate at this point.
Just drop him, but I'd rather have Fournette than Conner.
Yep.
And Debo and Pittman. I'd
rather have Debo, but
yeah, I know Debo picked up the hamstring injury, but from what I can tell, it's not like there doesn't seem to be serious concern about him long term. So for me, like Debo and Pittman, Tyreek and Amari Cooper, that's kind of a wash.
And Connor's injured, so I'd be picking up an injured running back for a healthy running back. I'm not doing that. Drop Russ and pick up somebody.
Yeah, just drop Russ and keep your pieces.
And then pick somebody up off of waivers.
I don't want James Conner.
Callie, yes, Carter, next week is a flex spot. Desperation flex spot.
Yeah.
No Mike Williams. Yep. Keenan Allen still working his way back. Played about half of the snaps last week. Could be closer to a full complement of snaps, but
they're also on bye this week, so
okay.
We don't know what could emerge for week 9, right? So,
And
like,
Josh Palmer will probably be back. So I don't know. I don't know.
Tentatively, Heaves, maybe, but, like, honestly, yeah, with Palmer likely back after the bye week, let's maybe plan to look elsewhere.
Xavier, should you drop Bucks D if then for who?
Did they get roasted this week against the Panthers, Tampa?
I think I think everybody involved got roasted by Tampa.
Everybody got roasted.
Or by Carolina.
What was the Bucks?
They're playing Baltimore.
Line? They only had 1 sack. The Bucks did. They don't have a turnover forced in 3 games. Dang, the Bucks might be droppable.
Yeah, I'm streaming. If I have the Bucks at this point, I'm streaming. And we talked about the Jets as an option this week. We talked about Indianapolis as an option this week. The Washington Commanders as an option this week.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously don't want to get burned by, like, you know, there's always the concern of, like, a team fires right away, right? They start the season with some strong performances as expected. They come up small against Kansas City in a matchup where you expect them to come up small, but then they bounce back with a couple of nice performances the next 2 weeks. Although in that same time frame, they go on their run of not producing turnovers. Plus, the team as a whole is not playing well.
I'm fine streaming.
I think in this is a situation where it's like, let's let them go and maybe just keep an eye on them, because right now they're not playing well.
And Mario, thanks for chilling. Need one: Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, or James Robinson. They're kind of all in the same tier for me.
Mooney. I don't want to play Deontay against the Eagles. He's going to see Slay. He's going to see.
I don't want to play Mooney.
James Bradbury. Did Mooney not get anything going last night?
He didn't do great last week, no.
3 catches for 53 yards. I mean, he cleared 50 yards receiving. Mooney. Because James Robinson, it's going to be his first game with the team. And, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing for a running back, but, like, what if this is a scenario where for at least week 1, Carter's the guy just because he's been in the building all year? You know, I think I would take the Mooney ceiling play, J-Rob floor play. Deontay is very hard to trust at the moment.
I think Mooney is just as hard to trust as Deontay. I think I'm rolling Deontay. I'm just not feeling good about it. So we're split. Xavier, you've had Maher and Bass at kicker.
Yeah, keep rocking with them.
I'm rolling with them, man.
Yeah, roll with Bass. Who the
you
Bills play
waited
this week?
over the Bills bye week. You waited over the Bills bye week, and you still have Bass. Keep rolling with Bass, bro.
Play Bass. They're playing the Packers at home. They might boat race them, which means they're just like tacking on field goals in the second half because it's 35-7.
Yep. Still trying to rapid fire here. Durko. Keep trying to contend. Keep trying to contend.
Keep Higgins and Barkley.
Yep.
Keep Higgins and Barkley. Chase is great. Javonte doesn't help you this year. Keep your pieces.
Yep.
They're good young pieces.
D-Lenny, I'm not going after that. I'm not chasing. Not chasing Isaiah Likely.
And I think Andrews. I think he said he's going to play.
Yeah, Andrews is fine.
I think he said he's going to play. Now, to what extent? Like, how bad is it? As far as him being banged up and his effectiveness, we goose egged last week. So yes, but this is Mark Andrews we're talking about. Like, you got to go back to the well. And if you don't have him, I'm not picking up Likely. Hoping that he fires instead of Andrews.
And waiver wire pickups: Edwards, Foreman, Hubbard if they weren't, or Hubbard if they weren't picked up.
Michael Carter if he got dropped.
Yeah, Algier, Garrett Wilson if you're desperate for a wide receiver.
Right,
but that's kind of where it is. It's a weak. It's a weak waiver wire class this week.
Foreman and Edwards, if they didn't get scooped up by the weekend. And then, look like dudes that got dropped due to bye weeks. I don't know. Do you need a streaming option at quarterback? Kirk Cousins is back. Do you need a kicker? Tyler Bass is back.
Yep. Xavier Schultz had a decent week last week. Re-aggravated, I guess, a knee thing, but I think he should be okay. But he had a decent week. I think he caught 5 balls for more than 50 yards. I think he was all right. And Tamian's helping out. Love to see it. Marco, Pollard, Henderson, Carter, or Edwards. They're on waiver. Who do you pick up? Pollard first, then Henderson, then Carter, then Edwards, then Carter.
You would go Henderson or Pollard over Henderson?
Yes.
I like Pollard, but like I like Pollard, and Henderson's in a worse situation, but he is the starter. I'd rather have Henderson than Pollard.
Well, I would be happy to have all those guys on my bench. So I'm trying to pick up all of them.
Honestly, Marco, it depends on do you want the electric insurance policy to a plotting starter? I'm talking about Pollard now, in a probably better situation, but he's going to be harder to trust. Or do you want the guy who is the clear 1A with RB2 weekly upside, but it might be like pulling teeth because that offense stinks?
Yep.
That's the situation. And then Carter and Edwards, I think, are in very similar situations. They'll probably form committees. They'll be viable some weeks. They might give you not that much other weeks.
And love to see everybody helping everybody else out in the chat. Love to see it. Fabian, okay. Elijah Moore and Tony are on waivers. No. Nah, I mean, desperation Elijah, but not Tony. Not Tony. He's been MIA all year.
If Tony gets traded, then sure, but there's just, as far as I'm concerned, there's no way that happens. The Giants.
At that point, I'd rather hold like an Odell.
Well, so, I know that there are some people who believe in Tony from a talent perspective, and maybe he just goes to greener pastures, he can get unlocked. But the problem is the trade itself. Teams aren't going to give you anything for Kadarius Toney right now, and the Giants aren't going to give him away after spending a first-round pick on him. I think he's stuck in New York, therefore he should be safely left on waivers.
Yep. Okay to play Atlanta versus Carolina. I'm not chasing that. That's a middle-of-the-road defense. You can find better options. You can find better options.
I don't know if I'm chasing that.
And yes, Greg, that is what we're suggesting.
I mean, it's a shame that you can't find a way to put those good wide receivers in, or Mostert, but these are dudes that you expect to have RB1 weeks. I think you have what you need. So yeah, you're good.
And D. Lenny,
I agree.
The coaches aren't going to a committee. They're kind of going away from a committee now.
Well,
Kyron Williams will be somewhat involved, but
they might trade for somebody.
They could.
Like the Rams could trade for Kareem Hunt. Like they could.
With what capital?
Well, you don't have to give up that much to get Kareem Hunt. Like a 6th round pick should do it. They have that somewhere. Yeah. So I agree. Henderson's situation sucks, and it could get more muddied if they make an acquisition. Because again, there were reports that the Rams were in on Christian McCaffrey. It wasn't conceivable for them to actually be able to make that trade happen. So they're clearly interested in adding to their backfield. That being said, right now, today, as it stands, Henderson stands alone as that team's 1A, and therefore, even in a gross situation, I feel fine plugging him in as a flex.
Yes. Xavier, Bass has been so bad because the Bills are so good.
The Bills just.
You gotta just keep rolling with him, man. He's a top tier
really
kicker.
Good offense. He will fall into some good weeks, and that could come at home against a struggling offense. Again, Bills get up 28-7 at halftime. They'll be kicking field goal. The field goal opportunities and chances go up and increase naturally when you have a good team blowing out another team, getting big leads.
And they're not resting on their laurels. They keep passing. He'll keep getting at least 1 point for every touchdown they score, and they score a lot. So keep rolling with it. Daniel, you got another trade. Trade away Dak, Dalvin Cook, Pittman, and Debo for Tua, JT Lamb, and Deontay Johnson.
Yes.
Dak and Tua, kind of a wash. Dalvin Cook and JT, absolutely the JT side. Pittman, Lamb,
I guess I'd rather
Lamb side. Debo Johnson,
but
Debo's side. I think I'd rather have the Tua side. All said and done, though.
Getting some bots. Got him. Sorry, I lost
I think
it.
I'd just rather have the two aside when all's said and done.
I guess because you're getting Taylor.
Taylor and Lamb. That offsets losing Debo.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'll take the I'm fine with that. And you're getting rid of a guy I'm concerned about in Dalvin Cook. So, yeah. Yep.
And Riley,
sure.
I don't care. I don't think the coaching staff cares if the fans don't like Dalton. That's all I'm going to say there. Is it in the realm of possibility? Yes. I don't think it matters to the coaching staff that the fans don't like Dalton.
Yeah, well, they'll keep rolling. They'll roll with Winston if he's healthy. They will.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Taysom might get his opportunities.
Yep. And I didn't see that about Zeke. Good to know.
Bone bruise. Let me look.
Fabian, I'm not dropping any of the guys that you currently have for any of the guys that are on the waivers. Rather have Boyd, DJ Moore, London, and St. Brown.
Yep.
Hands down.
Keep your guys.
Marco, you have Pacheco and Eno and Foreman. One has to play RB2. So again, Pollard, Gus, Carter, Henderson on waiver.
Oh, well, in that case, Foreman against Atlanta, I would say. Actually, no. Henderson
I'm
coming
still
out of
trying
the
to
bye
get
week.
all those. I'm still trying to get a couple of those guys that are on waiver.
Drop Pacheco for, honestly, any one of those dudes.
Yep.
And maybe try to trade.
And then you want an order for your waivers? Nick and I are split. Nick wants Henderson 1. I want Pollard 1. But then it's the other option 2. And then between Gus and Carter, I think I want Gus then Carter.
Okay.
Carter's the bet. He long-term, season-long option. Gus gets a running mate back, but James Robinson does muddy the waters. And again, they lost Elijah Vera Tucker, so their O-line takes another hit in New York. So,
yeah.
But let's hope you can get one of those top 2 guys, if not both, depending on if you have another a wide receiver you can drop as well. Mm-hmm. Fabian, I can't explain what the Falcons are doing. I don't think anybody can. They're playing 1970s football, to Nick's point. Yeah, and we are next live, Nick, to the public on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll have start sit help on Saturday. When we are actually live, we'll be or the next time we will be live is I'll be live tomorrow with the members.
I'll be live Thursday with the members as well.
Yep. I'll be doing box score breakdowns tomorrow with the members.
Yep.
Where we get into snap count summaries by team and just see what type of information we can ascertain from that.
Yep.
And John will be live for like a start sit and also general topics ahead of the start of Thursday Night Football. Those are members only. If you're interested in becoming a member, we have that information in the first link in the description of this video. That would give you access to different channel perks, including those member streams, a total of 8 per month over the course of the season. If you're interested.
With just extra access to asking us questions and stuff. And in those streams, you won't be rushed by the fact that I have to get out of here in 12 minutes. Tamian, what if the Rams just trade all their good players for Eckler? Hey, that would be crazy.
I guess that would free up some cap space.
Yep.
But also, Eckler is not what they need. They need offensive line.
An entire line. They need an entire offensive line.
I guess Eckler would offset a bad offensive line, but not to the extent where they would actually go back and win the Super Bowl.
Yep. And D. Linney, the Colts D are a solid option this week. But I would still rather the Jets and probably the Titans than the Colts.
Yeah.
If I'm streaming.
I like the Colts this week, though. Again, they get Heineke and they're at home. The Colts are. Yeah, I like them.
Tamian's going to get Kyler Murray from his mom's. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I like that. I like that. What's going on, Patrick?
So just don't fleece your mom. She deserves better than that.
No, she probably bought you a fleece or two back in the day, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Fabian didn't mean to drop them. That's what you meant. You can easily bring in new wide receivers on the bench. Yeah. Yep. And Bambo.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that. Keep your guys.
Yeah. Bambo, would you guys trade Debo and Freiermuth for Andrews and Jacoby? No.
I guess
no.
I'll keep Debo.
It's definitely an upgrade at tight end,
right
but
now.
the difference
The wide
between
receiver disparity
Freiermuth and Andrews versus Debo and Jacoby, I'd rather have Debo and Muth.
Yeah.
Nick Peroni, Hubbard or Foreman, a toss up.
Both produced.
Hubbard got more work. Foreman looked better,
Mm-hmm.
which is we knew Foreman would look better. We just weren't sure that Hubbard was going to get all that work.
I'm gonna pull up the snap count breakdown right now, just as a little sneak peek to see what you guys are missing out on Wednesdays. But I'm only gonna do one position group. So Foreman 54% of the snaps, Hubbard 46% of the snaps. It is a pretty much dead heat even split. Take your pick. Foreman gets slightly more snaps. Hubbard got slightly more work.
Edge Foreman,
but it's damn close.
I also think Foreman is just the better talent.
Yeah.
And D. Lenny, agreed. Sad J, good to see you. You're glad the owner turned down the Aaron Jones for St. Brown trade. You got that dub.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Jones had a big week.
And yeah, Amon-Ra got taken out of the game altogether.
Yep.
Would Pittman, Harris for Pollard and Ayuk be solid or too low? Which side are you on?
I think he's got the
for Pollard and Ayuk.
Too low.
Little too low.
Yeah.
Marco, thank you.
Yeah.
Patrick can explain what the Falcons are doing. There you go. You got an answer from him.
They're screwing. They're messing around. They're just screwing around. They're spending multiple top 10 picks on pass catchers and then running the ball 40 times. Yeah.
And Sad J disrespects wide receiver position every year in favor of running back depth, and it tends to work out. Hey, JT is just everybody's high on JT because he's Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what he did last year, man. He was the RB1 last year.
And I think around this time last year, he was like the RB20. So he caught fire. We know what he can do. He's a beast.
Herbert, Lamar, or Kyler rest of season?
Oh my God.
One of Kyler or Lamar, man.
Kyler. Herbert's unfortunately, and it's it's not totally his fault, but because of the rib injury, he's the high-end quarterback bust of 2022 so far.
Yep.
Again, he got hurt. He's battling through it. Credit to him.
Also dealing with injuries in his own offense.
Right. So. Hasn't had Keenan Allen. Now he might be without Mike Williams for a similar time frame that he was without Allen. Between that and the rib injury, Herbert's third on this list.
Yep.
I'll say Kyler. I think he's, believe it or not, from a fantasy perspective, in the most favorable situation here.
And gets all of his players back, in
D-Hop's
3 to 4 weeks.
Plays in the desert, plays in a dome, doesn't have to worry about, on the road, different story, but
and has number one overall upside. So, yeah. And King Marcelo, who would you rather have PPR rest of season, Debo or St. Brown? We got this question earlier, and we both said Debo.
Debo.
Patrick.
D. Lenny, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
He's had to go. Always a pleasure, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for chilling. Patrick, Herbert or Damian Harris for A.J. Dillon? I mean, it's...
Carter, Herbert, or Damian Harris for Dillon. That's
it's
kind of not Herbert.
It's kind of a move where it doesn't really move the needle for me because they're all in the same tier. Harris,
that's Ramondre's like 1/8 now. I think I would. If you want to buy low on AJ Dillon of these three, I would offer Harris.
Yeah, I just think they're both the number twos in bad offenses. So if they're in the same tier,
But I'm of these options. I think now let's keep Carter and see what this backfield breakdown looks like now that James Robinson is in the mix. And I'm keeping Herbert.
Yep.
But if you want to do a buy low offer that still looks decently fair on paper, then
we
Harris
have 5
would be the one I
minutes
would offer.
again. 5 minutes, so we got to keep it moving.
And we're getting on the end of the chat. But yeah, sorry guys, we do have to. We are gonna tighten this up a little bit. We're on a bit of a time crunch
ETN's rest of season outlook. He's an low end RB1.
Low end RB1. Yeah, low end RB1. He's getting all the work. JaMychal Hasty and Snoop Conner ain't taking more than a couple touches a game total between the two of them from ETN. Low end RB1 rest of season with his pass catching chops.
Yes. Fabian, would you bench Dubs for Watkins or Noah Brown this week?
I'm benching Dubs, but I'm hoping I can find
better option.
Something. Not Watkins against, but no Packers wide receiver.
Can you pick up a Garrett Wilson? Is he on the wire or something like that? I'd rather go in that direction.
Sure.
Bambo, what his counter offer? Debo, Romeo, Rondale, and Muth for Andrews and Waddle. Sure.
That's more intriguing.
Sure. Go for it.
That's better. Actually, yeah,
I'm
Bambo.
cool with that. Do it.
I'm better with that because you're getting a great replacement for Debo and Waddle, and Andrews essentially is for Muth, Rondale, and Dubs. Absolutely, yes. Bam. I would do that deal.
Do it up. Do that. Yeah, a lot of Falcons talk here.
Oh, they're protecting Ritter.
I mean, Boyd is just one of those. He's a flex play, man. Boyd is just a flex play. Yeah. Boyd is just a flex play at this point with wide receiver 2, low end wide receiver 1 upside because he's just a really good wide receiver. Keeps producing. But you continue. I know you can't predict his explosions, but even his bad weeks are decent flex weeks. So he's just a flex play, upside flex play. And you have a good night too, man. Sorry again for having to dip out, but I gotta work. Gotta do work. Give Fournette for Mixon straight up.
Sure. Mixon doesn't have a Rashad White problem. Sure. I would be fine with that.
Yeah, I guess.
I know we were worried about Mixon's fantasy playoff schedule, but one of those matchups is against Tampa, and all of a sudden, that's not looking as scary as it did originally. Now, I think one of those
very
games
close,
but
I guess I'd rather have Mixon.
Yeah, I guess I'd rather have Mixon. Ryan's not on Rashad White's level as far as concern carving out a role in the offense. He is there, though, but...
Fabian definitely bench Dubs for Boyd this week and every week. Just
play
Boyd.
I would,
all
just play
day,
Boyd
just
and
play
hope for the best. Yeah.
For the rest of the year. Just play Boyd.
I mean, at least until further notice.
Yeah, unless you have a clear-cut better option, but keep playing Boyd.
Yeah. Yep.
And Patrick, there was a chance for you to shoot Diggs and Hurts and Herbert for Murray and Barkley and Montgomery. Nah.
Yeah. I mean,
nah.
It looks pretty fair. I mean, you're talking about Barkley, RB1, Diggs, wide receiver 1, like overall potential here. But I want to keep Hurts. Hurts is awesome. And I think I'd rather have Herbert than Montgomery. He looks like the better running back. So it's basically Diggs for Barkley, and I guess I'd rather have the player at the position where just by the numbers, he's less likely to miss time due to injury.
Yep.
I'll keep what I have.
And just had his bye,
Right, past his bye week. Hurts, and so is Hurts. Hurts is past his bye week. Yeah, yep. Patrick.
And these are the types of things that matter right now.
Yeah. Keep your stuff. Keep what you got.
Tim Shields, J-Rob, and Michael Carter have a cake playoff schedule.
It's going to be hard to know which one.
We just got to see how it shakes out with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carter's got a chance here, but we've seen what Robinson can do in the past, and he's, they didn't trade for him not to use him. I hope it's a slightly elevated Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson situation. The difference being if you have one or the other, they are a viable flex play.
Yep.
But we don't know yet. We'll see.
And we have reached the end of the chat. Again, thank you guys for everybody who was chilling with us today.
Yeah, appreciate it,
everybody who came in late. If you got any more questions, we got about a minute before I cut us off at 8 o'clock. Again, sorry for having to cut this one short. Usually we're fine going for 2.5 hours, close to 3 hours, if not 3 hours. But today I got a bunch of work that I have to do after hours. So it is what it is. But thank you guys for understanding, and thanks for chilling with us. Tim, yes, you should keep Eno.
Yeah, keep Eno. Don't drop him.
And Patrick Haas, bye week's hurt, but
I'd rather have an avalanche in 1 week than like consistent snowballing week after week after week.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
right,
that's the strategy.
All that out of the
get
way.
all your bye weeks in one. Yep.
Yeah, if you have to take an L because you're only going to score 70 points because all your horses are on bye, then screw it. Fine.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is.
Cardinals, Bills, or Titans defense, bro. You're
Bills.
playing the Bills defense
Bills.
every time that they're playing.
Bills. Yeah.
Every time that they're playing, you're playing the Bills defense.
And nothing scary about an Aaron Rodgers-led offense these days.
Not at all. Not at all.
But appreciate everybody's engagements, contributions, conversations.
Yep.
Again, one last shout out. If anybody's interested in becoming a member, getting additional streams per month, there's information in the first link in the description of this video. And if you want to keep the conversation going, if you're not in our Discord but would like to be, third link in the description of this video, evergreen invite. You can come hang, talk shop, ask questions whenever you want. We will get to them as we can. And the members get a little extra love in there as well.
Yes, sir. And thank you again, everybody who's chilling with us today. All you members, Nick will see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Thursday. Again, 99 cents, y'all. If you want an extra 2 streams with us a week, what's 99 cents? So think about it. Think about it. Less than a cup of coffee a week. You get to chill with us for another
2 extra.
Another 4 hours. 4 hours a week to get your questions answered. So thanks for chilling. Hopefully we steered you in the right direction this week, and we will both be back in full force on Saturday.